bringing us into our favorite section, the verdict, where King Lorik bestows or does not bestow
his blessing. I mean, I think it's the best baseball game on the NES that I've played. You?
It's fun. Like I said, I would add it to our games with playing list. I think it's there. We did add it. We did already add it. What I'm saying,
we had the whole discussion of whether or not to fucking. But that wasn't after the whole idea of these are not cursory analyses. That list is about cursory decisions on whether or not it's just fun to pick up and play. This is a decision as to whether or not someone would want to buy it, invest a substantial amount of time in it, recommend it to others, which is what we're kind of doing here, So yeah, it's a little heavier of a decision we're making than that list, I think. And I would definitely say that, I mean, if you enjoy baseball games at all, it would be really hard, particularly the head-to-head, because of, again, the nuance of it. Like we mentioned, it gets a little easy on the one-player front, I think, after not long, and that's kind of disappointing because, I mean, as I said, I've been playing Bases Loaded 2 for 30 years, and I'm still get pissed off playing that game. But also if you do the simple thing of just not letting yourself cheese on the pitching front, if you actually throw varied pitches and not do that, then this game probably would be infinitely harder. So.
And that's what I did, and so I'm constantly in my head thinking like, what am I doing next? What's the game plan? Because even the computer would seemingly adjust to those things sometimes. So I have nothing. I really don't have anything bad to say about it, honestly.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I mean, there's some NES shit here and there, but like, again, within the spectrum of NES shit, like, there's just no downsides to it, really, baseball wise.
It's funny too, because looking at the manual at first, the manual is so big compared to what we see, and so I was originally
it's just those stats,
right. That's what I found. But at first, I was originally like, "Oh my gosh, like, is this going to be so much to deal with?" Like, I don't even know. My eyes are glazing over, but. Like in practice, it's not that way, and it's easy.
There's 11 pages of actual how to play this game in the 32. So yeah, it's 10 pages of learning and 20 pages of depth, or like team management depth. You know what I mean? To deal with. So I mean that's a pretty good. That's honestly that's a good description of the ratio of like what the gameplay is, because the simulation aspects of it are like you read in the reviews and stuff, like a big part of what makes this game differentiated from many of the others, and that's a good, you don't need to engage that if you don't want to. You can just fire it up and go, also, which is a good balance that you would like to see, particularly out of a sports game. Yes, you want to have those options. Do I want to play franchise mode? Sure, on my own, but I also want to just be able to pick it up with a buddy and just have a fucking blast and turn it off and not think about any of the dumb shit in between those two times, So yeah, man, it's fucking, I don't even know how I would. Someone trying to formulate an argument against giving it the blessing, I would love to hear that, because I can't even imagine where you would start to get a foothold. Yeah.
It's like we started playing this episode. Like whenever we approach these single game episodes, where we're focusing on one game and evaluating it. Oftentimes when I sit down to play it for the first time, it's like, all right, let me really prepare. Let me get my notes ready. Let me get ready to get into it and experience it for the first time. Whereas this, like, I turned it on and just played, and then I was able to just come back and play again. And I was like, okay, like it was just very easy to immerse yourself into and not feel like you have to like really get invested. Sure. Whereas a lot of games now, you're like, all right, how long do I have to learn this game? Do I need like 2 hours like to really learn it? Whereas this, I was like in it, and it was good.
Immediately, yeah. And I mentioned that in our chat throughout the week. How it's like, it's just not that this has any bearing on someone's fucking whatever the purpose of King Lorik's blessing. Clearly, not everyone's podcasting about this game, but yeah, like I forgot, so it's Blades of Steel is the only other sports one we've done like this, and I just love how, it's not, usually I have to sit at my computer and I'm taking notes every fucking 2 seconds. With this, I'm just like sitting over on my couch playing the game, and like every now and again something will happen. I'm like, hit start, get up, walk over to my computer and like make a note, and then go back and just keep playing. It's just like, it's a very different process on that front for us, I think. And that it's a really fun and freeing experience relative to some of the more intense, like Fester's Quest is like every fucking enemy. Got to talk about that enemy. Got to talk about fucking that boss. Got to like figure out the strategy that I did and make sure I fucking recount it all and like have something to talk about that topic. Like this is just like baseball, and like you're writing down anecdotes, So
And the
also,
controls are pretty intuitive, like except for the
yeah.
controlling multiple people thing, which even then you
And
still
base
get
running,
used
apparently
to
we never
it.
brought it up. We never brought up the base running. Apparently, yeah, you just I can't believe you mentioned that you didn't think that you didn't know that you could run
Oh
back.
my
You're
gosh.
like whenever you hit a pop fly, you just like concede, like, oh,
Well,
everyone's
because
out.
I was clearly pressing the wrong button, and maybe I pressed the other because I tried both, so I don't clearly I did it wrong because
Well,
I came to that
you gotta
conclusion.
like roll it. It's like a roll. You gotta like start where they're going and roll back. You know, it's not just hit second because you got to tell who you're trying to take back first. You know, so
And that's what it was,
yeah.
because I caused the player to stop running once, and I was like, I didn't want that to happen. So then I was
That's the
just like,
last thing.
I'm not messing with it again.
Yeah, super funny.
I just
So,
didn't
yeah,
take the time to figure it
and
out.
it's funny because that is just how they all are. So it's so funny for me. Yeah, so funny.
Still good time.
Okay, well that's RBI Baseball 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System.